Hi, this is Tom Parmalee, the founder of funeralvision.com. A reader recently wrote to me asking, what suggestions do I have for marketing a death care event? I figured some other people out there probably have this same question, so I'm recording this video. I have planned many events throughout the years for funeral professionals, and I do have some tips. I guess my first one would be to plan as early as possible. Planning as early as possible involves picking the right date and also picking the right location. You want to pick a date that doesn't conflict with other major events in the profession. And you also want to pick a venue that's attractive to attendees. For instance, the last thing in the world you'd want to do is plan an event at the same time in Atlantic City as the New Jersey State Funeral Directors Association is holding their event. Or maybe an adjacent state is holding an event at that same time. If you want to pull from these areas, you want to pick a time and a location that is attractive to them. The second part of planning an event early is to get the CEU process started as early as possible. Applying for CEUs is not a small chore. Every state or many states require a different form. There are often fees involved, and often there's some thinking involved on your part in deciding whether or not to go through the process of trying to get CEUs from that particular state. For instance, if a state charges $500 to even be considered to grant CEUs for the event, and it's on the other side of the country, and you don't think any attendees from that state will come to your event, well, you can see pretty quickly how it can become cost prohibitive to incur every single expense. So you have to think about it. You have to go through the process. You have to give yourself time to prepare those applications and to give the state boards time to get back to you. Another part of planning an event, a successful one anyhow, is to get the right speakers. And that includes thinking about diversity, in my opinion. You want to think about having both men and women involved with the program. You want to think about trying to get different races and ethnicities involved in the program. And I would say you also want to get people of different ages and experience levels involved in the program. If everyone speaking is over age 60 and you're trying to pull in younger people of the profession, they probably appreciate seeing someone who looks more like them and has some younger perspectives to share from. So I would think about all those things and plan as early as possible. Another part of holding a successful event is to get the speakers involved. That means making it easy for them. Share with them a news release about their participation, suggest ways in which they could share about the event on social media, create event listings on Facebook and LinkedIn, and encourage your speakers to share news about them participating in the event. All of those things can help you lead, can help contribute to a successful event. There have been times when I've been planning events, and there have been speakers I've had involved where I knew going into it that I could count on those speakers to bring in 3 or 4 people on their own just by virtue of tapping into their networks. Now, if you're holding, an event that has 5 or 6 speakers, and each of them is directly responsible for bringing 2 or 3 people to your gathering, you can easily see how that can form a nice base from which to grow from and to, reach all of these other people. Another part of holding a successful event, of course, is to get your sponsors involved. Just like with your speakers, encourage your sponsors to share the news about the event, that they're supporting it, why they're supporting it, why it's important for people to go to the event. That's another key component of spreading the word On top, of course, alerting the trade media and anyone else who you think might be able to expand those tentacles in sharing information about the event. Uh, of course, it goes without saying, you want to do some of your own marketing, tap your own personal network, and think about advertising on Facebook via direct mail. If you are part of a company, think about sharing news about the event at any place where you exhibit, state conventions, any kind of other seminars that you might be giving. Always be promoting the event and trying to make it a success. You also, of course, want to think about the content of the event. That is critical. You want to develop a reputation of holding an event where if people invest the time and resources to go, that they're going to learn something. You don't want them to sit, in front of sales pitch after sales pitch where they're not getting any value on how to run and operate their business. That most of all is, a really critical piece. Also, you want to have fun. You want to have fun while you're planning the event and spearheading all of this, and you also want your attendees to have fun, and that involves making it easy for them to have fun during the event, incorporating activities into the event, a cocktail hour, breaks where people can mingle and chat. You want them to learn in and out of the classroom. You want it to be an experience. So those are some quick tidbits on how to hold a successful event in funeral service. You can probably apply them to other events as well. There's a lot more involved, but if you do all of those things, you will be on the path to success. If you have any other questions about funeral service that you think I can answer, please feel free to reach out to me, tom@funeralvision.com, and please visit the site, tell your friends, tell your colleagues, sign up for our free newsletter where you'll get alerted automatically anytime we post a news story, and keep doing what you do. Thank you very much.